So, because of one of my latest posts, Happy Segregation Day, I got a lot of different responses, and most of them were good responses. However, there were a lot of people who had some concern, okay? And I understand that concern. I'm coming from a different perspective than some of the few actually, who were extremely concerned and fearful, right? And that's understood. But again, I feel like fear comes out of a lack of knowledge. Okay. If you put somebody out in the middle of the wilderness, the person who has knowledge about how to survive in the wilderness is not going to fear as much as the person who has absolutely no knowledge. Okay. So this is where we are in time. If in fact segregation were to come back, I don't fear it because I have a lot of knowledge backing me up. But there are a lot of people who are younger than me who have no idea what this space comes with, right? So, as the founder of BlackEntrepreneurHistory.com, I did write up something that would help people understand where I am coming from and why there is no need to fear because we have actually been here and segregation has never gone anywhere. Okay, so take a look. Now, as the founder of BlackEntrepreneurHistory.com, I went ahead and wrote up something really fast, like 15 minutes ago, how Black Americans survived and thrived during segregation in the United States of America. Now, this is not saying that I am dying to have segregation back. No, this is not what it's saying. But if it is going to come back because the votes voted in a man who wants it and a whole Congress that does not mind it, what are we to do? Except wait for the next opportunity to vote. In the meantime, we need to understand how to survive and thrive. What I provided was some links, okay, to where you could actually go and see for yourself what our forefathers did during the times of segregation, which Black Americans, we have actually lived in segregation for the majority of our period in the United States of America. Let me repeat that. Black Americans have been segregated for the majority of our time in the United States of America. And this is how our own culture ended up developing through segregation. Now, one of the points I'm going to take from the article is because we were forced to do these things on our own. Say, for instance, if you can never go to a restaurant down the street because of the color of your skin, guess what you have to do? Guess what our ancestors did? We founded our own restaurants. See what I'm getting at? There was a boom, actually. There was a huge boom in Black businesses all over the nation from the North and the South. Harlem was owned by Black Americans. It was. Okay? Wrote all about it. I even spoke about this before. Let me read you something. African Americans during the Harlem Renaissance owned $60 million of real estate, several businesses in Harlem. In 1 square mile, a little to the north of Central Park in New York City, live more Negroes than ever have been gathered together in the history of the world. That square mile is Harlem, a colored city as large as all of Memphis or Dallas, where in 15 years, Negroes have acquired real estate worth $60 million. Now stands for the Negro Metropolis, writes James Weldon Johnson. Harlem is indeed the great mecca for the sightseer, the pleasure seeker, the curious, the adventurous, the enterprising, the ambitious, and the talented of the whole Negro world. For the lure of it has reached down to every island in the Carib Sea and has penetrated even to Africa. It is not a quarter of dilapidated tenements, but it's made of new law apartments and handsome dwellings with well paved and well lit streets, with its own churches, social and civic centers, shops, theaters, and other places of amusement. I can go on and on, but you get my point, okay? And that was just Harlem. All right, that was just Harlem. This was all Black owned. This was not any. This was all Black owned, and I go into that in the article, and I have links for people who just want to go directly to it. Okay, now this happened in North Carolina. This happened in Oklahoma. This happened across This happened in South Carolina. This happened across the nation. Okay. And this was during segregation. This was during the time when we had to have that travel guide to show us where we can go and where we can't go. This is what happened. We even had hotels. Yeah. So this is what happened. So segregation, what it did was make a purpose for our money. And a lot of that purpose has been lost today because of integration. Now, with integration, we can still have that purpose for our money. However, it seems that everybody doesn't actually want to listen. During segregation, our money remained concentrated. We didn't take it to the all those other places. Okay? It remained concentrated because nobody wanted us around. So even right now, we're integrated. We can still do that. However, we don't, which is an odd thing. However, during segregation, segregation is not good, but it was the law. So, what do you do when it's the law? You survive and thrive.